comes Red now.
Little Beaver and I rode to almost a stone's throw of the Pacific. We explored both north and south and found that section after section of free government land to be had for the asking had been gobbled up ahead of us.
That's the trouble with this country. It's gone to the dogs. There ain't no more opportunity for a poor man.
That's where you're wrong, Ruth Hume. There'll always be opportunity for eyes that are sharp enough to see it. And there's lots more good land, too. Not so far ahead. It can be bought for as little as $2 an acre.
Red can tell good land when he sees it, and he doesn't have to ask you either.
And I don't have to ask him to know that nobody's parting with good land at such a price as he stated. Where's it situated, Red?
Between here and Center City. Paradise Valley is the name it's called by.
Paradise Valley. Oh. Why, gosh almighty, Ryder. Only yesterday, we passed 3 wagons of homesteaders headed from there on their way back to Kansas. All the stock they had left was the horses pulling their wagons. The rest had died of thirst. The trouble is, you let Ryder talk me down in the first place. We'd headed north, like I said, we'd found plenty of water.
There's plenty of water in Paradise Valley.
Sure. I heard them homesteaders talk about how it comes and goes out of season. In the winter, the river is flooded, breaks over its banks, laying everything to waste. The folks along the bottom land are worried trying to fight it back. There's nothing much to fight with except their bare hands. And like as not, their buildings and stock get washed away. But by the time summer comes, the river runs dry. The sun parches its bed white as a bone. The grass withers down into its roots, and what topsoil is left turns to dust. What are you wasting our time for, gabbing by such a forsaken hole?
Because there's opportunity in Paradise Valley. Only it doesn't come all dressed up in silk. Now, as I figured, bags of sand piled along the riverbanks will help hold back the winter floods. Then up a branch of the main river, Little Beaver and I found a site where a dirt dam can be built without too much trouble. It won't store a lot of water, but sufficient to get us through the summers, till we save enough money to build a real big dam across the main river. It won't be easy at first, but...
All you're trying to do, Red, is save your own face at our expense.
Now, listen to me, Bill Hume. Red's never asked favors from nobody, though him and me has granted a plenty.
I don't blame you, Duchess, for sticking up for your own nephew. But when he starts making good his promises with a lot of crazy talk...
I don't think it's so crazy, and neither does my brother.
Thanks, Melinda. Have you finished stating your case, Bill?
I just stated facts. North is where you'll find water.
But no land we can afford to buy. That's what I've been trying to say about opportunity. When it lies in plain sight, others have already seen it. That's just common sense.
I still say it's a gamble. I'll leave it to anybody in his right mind.
You want to put it to a vote?
Well, sure. If you write my name, I'll take you where you don't have to build dams or pile up sandbags. But if you choose to vote for Ryder, I'll shut up and throw in with the rest. Come on ahead with it. Yeah. Careful. Over that one.
This is going to be a community newspaper, Bill. So instead of calling Roof off, you might lend a hand and help us get this printing press inside.
What does this community need a newspaper for? Also for you to toot your own horn?
Let it down. Easy.
What you're doing, Ryder, is using valuable wagon space to haul in the dump printing press instead of needed grub.
It's going to take more than a stomach full of grub for this country out here to pull abreast of the rest of America. Not only newspapers, but schools and churches.
Come on, Ruth. I ain't got time to waste on this kind of gab.
If any of you fellas feel the way Bill does about it...
Don't worry about him, Red. Everybody knows why he always kicks over the traces. Never has wanted to play ball unless he could be pitcher and catcher both.
We're going to have to get some planks and a crowbar to slide this on inside, Red.
Let's see what we can find at the blacksmith shop.
Right! Big all right! See big smoke! Fire burning brush!
Where, Little Beaver?
Over here! Come and show!
We better get there quick.
Wait, Steve. Take along something to help put it out. Axes and gunny sacks.
Give more fire to fight. I'm going up to their dam and open up the spill gates.
the dam and turn some water loose in the ditch below. This is no place for you, little Beaver. Get out of here. Hurry up.
You get him scalped, Red. You let it down. You better tell Red. Somebody spilled water. Him have big leak.
What's that? What are you talking about?
Me see water run away in river. Come, me show.
And in another half hour, there wouldn't be any water left to put out the fire. I made my big mistake when I didn't open up the dam first.
Now, you made your big mistake when you started playing with matches.
Well, it wasn't my idea. He told me that
What was the idea, Langley?
Before you left for the east, it was understood I'd buy up Paradise Valley, wasn't it?
Right. Or enough of it to control the water rights.
That's all I've been trying to do. But you made it sound easy. That's because you weren't taking into consideration a certain fellow by the name of Red Ryder.
Red Ryder? Who's he?
Who's he? He's the big gun in the valley. What he says goes with all the rest of the settlers. He said no. Said it emphatically. So I thought I'd better try a little persuasion.
So you tried to burn them out. Very stupid. I'm astonished.
What do you propose to do? Give up? Throw everything overboard?
Why, of course not. We'll do just what we set out to do. Get controlling interest of the land and the water rights that go with it. And if we play our hand right, we'll do it legally. We'll promote the city water bonds to the tune of $1 million. Build our dam, and then...
Yeah, sounds great, great. I'm afraid you're a little too optimistic about the bonds. Have you forgotten what I said about this fellow Ryder? Besides, suppose the city won't vote the bonds.
What do you think I run a newspaper for? This deal can be engineered just exactly as we'd planned it. And as far as this fellow Red Ryder's concerned, I've never known a big gun yet who wouldn't like to be just a little bit bigger.
Well, maybe that's the way I seem to you, Bill, but I've never had a hankering to be a big gun.
What do you call telling others how much water they can use or how much they can't use?
All I'm telling you is how much water is left in the dam. There isn't much. But there'll be enough to get us through to the rains if everybody uses barely what he needs. But if you or anybody starts hogging more than his share...
I don't want to hog nothing. All I'm saying is no one man's word ought to be law. Why should you be able to tell Steve there what he can do or he can't do? He knows right from wrong.
You ain't heard Steve bellyaching none. Lead him out of this. Go ahead, Steve. Tell him off. The trouble with you, Bill Hume, is that you're trying to stir up trouble so that folks might listen to you instead of Red.
I ain't asking anybody to listen to nobody. What I'm trying to say is it ought to be put to a vote.
You can't vote more water in the dam, Bill. And no vote is going to keep people from suffering if anybody uses more water than I've already stated. If you want to vote, go ahead. I don't see what it's going to change.
Neither do I.
You satisfied, Bill?
Oh, sure, Red. What's fair for the others is always fair for me. I guess it won't be easy, but...
It won't be easy for any of us. It means that most of you won't have enough water to raise what you need for your families this season. But I've a notion the Duchess will tide us through.
Oh, that's right, Red. I'll try to see that nobody has to pull their belts in too tight. Anyway, as long as there's provisions in the store.
Well, that's too much water coming from the dam, little Beaver. Now we know why it's been shrinking faster than it should.
Think maybe dam has leak, Red?
Nope. It appears someone's stealing more than his share at night. We'll follow this water and see where it leads to.
That shot was likely to warn the water thief.
There we go, Red.
Sounds like he gave us the slip back yonder. Heading south. That gives me an idea where he's heading for.
Who was it, Roof?
I never seen him close enough to be sure. More likely Ryder and his Indian kid.
Did they see you?
No nearer than I seen them. I led him north like I was running to the Dill place. Then I lost him and rode back here.
Good. Then you'd better get back to your cabin and make sure nobody sees you.
That's what I call pretty low, little Beaver. For all they care, the rest of the folks could get along without water.
What we do now, Red? Get him scalped?
No. We'll just let them think they got away with something. Well, that's about all we can do till we get some shoes.
Red! Hey, Red!
What is it, Melinda?
Listen to this. The Gazette is taking the liberty of reprinting an editorial from the Paradise Valley News. The author is a real philosopher. He has a theory on the necessity of water to community development that it might be well for the citizens of Center City to take to heart. He came in with a freight. Isn't it grand?
It's just plumb silly, Melinda, trying to make a highfalutin theory out of anything I write.
It isn't neither. It's wonderful. Just think, to be copied in the Center City Gazette. Just look what it says about itself. Largest metropolitan newspaper west of the Mississippi.
Oh, they're just bragging. The way you acted, I thought it was something important.
Hey, wait a minute, Red. There's a city fellow to see you.
What does he want?
He didn't say, but he looks awful important. He drove into town in that fancy rig.
Well, let's see what he wants.
Okay.
Howdy, mister. Ryder's my name. I understand you want to see me.
Yes, indeed. This is a privilege, Mr. Ryder. My name is Blaine.
Glad to know you.
Glad to know you, too. You know, that's the best newspaper copy in the state. Hits out from the shoulder, straight to the mark.
Glad somebody thinks so. Up here, we just sort of throw the paper together. One of these days, we're going to get a real editor.
Quit running yourself down, Red Ryder. The trouble with Red is he isn't smart enough to know how smart he is. You've heard of the Center City Morning Gazette, the largest metropolitan newspaper west of the... Why, you're A.C. Blaine.
That's right. Mr. Ryder, I want you to come to Center City and work for the Gazette. Do a daily column. You know, down-to-earth stuff by the Cowboy philosopher.
Gee, mister, that's swell. Oh, I knowed you had it in your Red. The first thing you know, you'll... Hey, wait a minute. How much you gonna pay him?
Now, hold your horses, Melinda. Much obliged, but I'm no newspaper man. My line's staging and freighting. Up here, a fella has to do a few little odd chores, and getting a newspaper out once a week is one of mine.
Maybe Big Chief's newspaperman on his way back to Center City. Go wrong way.
Could be, except he found his way in, and it's no different going out. Funny goings on, little Beaver.
Where do you think they go, Red?
Well, not far, I'm afraid. Maybe they're just out to get their milk cows. Better get down and see Mrs. Hume before they get back.
Mr. Ryder, if you come here to make more trouble for Bill...
The only trouble that Bill has, Mrs. Hume, is brought on by himself. But it doesn't seem right that others should have to suffer along with him. So I fetched out some grub to keep you and the youngsters eating.
Oh, but Bill said that you wanted cash, and we haven't got any money.
It only applies to Bill and Ruth, Mrs. Hume. All I want from you is a promise, not to tell them about this. If you need anything else real bad, you come to the store and tell the Duchess about it. I'm sure she'll take care of you.
Maybe I ought to told you that I'm much obliged. But...
This is about as good a spot as any.
I just heard you were moving off your land. Where are you going?
Well, I don't rightly know, but anywhere out of this cursed valley. Now, I'm not blaming you, Red, but when a fire half ruins a fella, and his dam goes out, and with it all the water, well, it's no more than reasonable to expect that...
I'm not trying to hold you here against your will, Ed, but the Duchess and I are still willing to tide you through. That dam going out wasn't any more of an accident than the fire was. It looks like somebody's trying to drive us all out, and they wouldn't want to do that unless they figured we had something pretty valuable.
Well, the rest of you may have, but not me. I sold out yesterday.
You did? Who to?
Bill Hume.
What did he pay you with?
A stack of 20 double eagles, fresh from a San Francisco mint. I'll admit it ain't much, but it'll be enough to get us back to where they don't have anything worse than cyclones. Get up.
You betcha me know what you think, Red. You think where Dickens Bill Hume get money.
That's right. Where did he? Sounds close to the Center City Road.
Maybe somebody shoot him deer.
Maybe. We're going to find out.
Climb down. Let us take over. Better get rid of these masks, Ruth. There's no use having any evidence laying around.
How about those two fellows Langley sent in? Somebody will find them.
They both looked awful dead to me. Besides, there's no way to tie them up to us.
Well, just the same. Maybe we better go back and make sure.
Can't take a chance on being late for that meeting I called. Besides, it looks suspicious if we weren't there when the others arrived. Come on, boy.
He's wounded, pretty bad. Somebody tried to hold up the freight wagon. He got a mail bag, but nothing important.
Well, who did it and what for?
He couldn't tell who. They were all masked. I thought it best to bring him in here first and then go back and investigate.
But you're needed over to Bill Hume's place.
Bill Hume's place? What's going on over there?
Well, I got wind he's holding a meeting. Must think you're doing something behind your back.
And in consideration of the parties about to build said dam across the Paradise River, it is stipulated and agreed that the parties of the first part...
Wait a minute, Ryder.
I just got my invitation to your candy pull, Bill. I'm sorry I'm late. Hello, Mr. Langley. What's the matter? Don't you recall? I'm the one you sounded out about buying the land up here. You even hinted I might get paid if I put over the deal.
No. You misunderstood, Mr. Ryder. I was only intimating what I've told these gentlemen. A group of public-spirited citizens in Center City are interested in developing outlying districts.
Sounds fine, but did you tell them for whose benefit?
Whose benefit? Why, theirs. Everybody's. And at my people's expense. Here, it's right here. See for yourself.
No, this is too mixed up in legal lingo. What does it mean in plain American?
It's very simple. You folks own the land. My people have the money to build a dam. So we pool our assets in one corporation and divide the stock equally. In other words...
Supposing there's a difference of opinion as to how things ought to be run.
Well, I don't see why that should happen. But if it does, we can settle it in a democratic way. We'll hold a stockholders' meeting and put it to a vote.
Well, we're much obliged, Mr. Langley, but we're raking up a fund to build our own dam. It might take longer, but once we get it, it'll be ours.
This fund of yours to build a dam is like the rest of your dreams. Before we could get it raised, we'd be dried up for lack of water and blown away. But this way, we're sure of water, soon enough to do some good. The land will be worth $20, maybe $30 an acre. And owning half of such is better than owning all of nothing but dust. I'll be the first to sign. You want to be next, Steve?
Don't you sign nothing, Steve. Let Red Seth go first.
Steve's old enough to make up his own mind, Melinda. That paper may make sense to you, Langley. But up here, the only way we know how to own anything is lock, stock, and barrel. In our own name.
Just the same as you'd like to own the rest of us. Making us dependent on you for the grub we eat and the duds we put on our back. This is our chance to get out from under anybody's thumb. So we can be free to buy where we choose without having to pay two prices for every mouthful we eat.
Are you hinting the Duchess has been overcharging the folks?
Putting it that way is letting her off easy, and I stand ready to prove it.
That's a lie. You can't prove nothing. Go on, Red, smack him.
Hold your horses, Melinda. I still claim you've been getting merchandise at rock-bottom prices. Bill here's just trying to turn your heads with idle talk.
That ain't talk, Ryder. All you got to do is read them prices. Way lower than the Duchess charges. Go on, Ryder. Get an eyeful. You can read, can't you?
Sure I can read. But what does it prove?
I've gone into business. That's my first load, and others is to follow. You folks can have anything you need, and you don't have to pay until we get a dam across the river. Nobody's going to rob you out of your eye teeth anymore.
Now, hold your horses, Bill. That's a smart trick somebody's pulling, but nobody can sell as cheap as that and stay in business. Who's behind it? Maybe Langley here can tell us who and why.
Leave Mr. Langley out of this. All that's the matter with you is you've been caught dealing off the bottom of the deck. You're through, Ryder. And there's the proof. From now on, nobody has to jump through your rope to get enough to eat.
The Duchess never cheated anybody. Don't listen to him.
We've listened long enough. And like Bill says, we don't like the way you deal the cards.
No, Steve, no.
And we'd just as soon you played your chips somewhere else.
Don't listen to him, Red. He didn't mean to say it.
I have a notion you did, Melinda. All right, Steve. But I also feel that you and the rest will change your minds. If you do and need any help, the Duchess can reach me at the Center City stage lines. Little Beaver, just got word from Melinda.
What'd it say?
Says, Dear Red, I take pen in hand to say me and the Duchess as well, and hope you and Little Beaver is the same. The Duchess opens the store every day, but don't sell nothing. I'm helping her. That is all the news excepting the new dam is finished. We read all your articles in the Gazette and like them fine. Yours respectably, Melinda. P.S. Tell Little Beaver to take care of himself.
Pale-faced squaw.
I must be getting homesick. I guess it's this here city life.
Hello, Ryder. I just dropped by to tell you that you're doing fine. And your salary's getting a boost.
Well, sir, thanks, but I don't see why. The line has done nothing but lose money for the past 2 months.
Oh, don't worry about that. The city isn't big enough to make it pay yet. But time will remedy that. I suppose you read about the local water situation.
Yeah, it's pretty serious, isn't it?
White just got back about an hour ago and said that the water in the reservoir was falling about a foot a day. At that rate, there won't be any water left by the end of the summer. Seems to me that the city's outgrown the present water supply, and the only solution is to get a new one.
Where are you going to find it?
Oh, there are plenty of places that are close enough in. The only problem is money to develop them. The Gazette is going to start a campaign for city water ponds to the tune of $1 million. And I want you to jump into it with both feet. The voters will listen to anything you have to say.
Center City's adopted son and the Gazette's own cowboy philosopher, Ryder. It was he who first awakened the voters to the grave situation confronting the community. Other factors contributed to the success of the bond vote. There, I guess that ought to show you. Maybe Red wasn't smart enough for you, but in a big place like Center City... Come here, Bill Hume, and look at this. Maybe it'll learn you.
I already read it. Good for Red. Looks like Center City's where he belongs. I just got word from Mr. Langley. The Paradise Valley Development Association is having a stockholders meeting. It'll be down in Center City Tuesday morning.
What are they having it there for? Seems to me like here ought to be the place.
Oh, like as not, folks down there was too busy to come away this far. Especially since nothing much important could be coming up. This letter said if anyone was too busy to go, I could fetch along their votes.
Speaking for me, I think I'll show up in person. I've always wanted to see what a stockholders meeting looked like.
As I was saying, in other words, the Center City Improvement Corporation, which I represent, will have first call on enough water from the dam to supply the city's needs. Now, in consideration for this privilege, the Paradise Valley Development Association will receive $1,000 per annum.
Why, split up amongst us, that wouldn't buy chicken feed. Don't you fellas see what they're trying to do? Steal the water right out from under us. There won't be enough left for our land. Ruin us, that's what you're trying to do.
This will be settled by the stockholders. They are all equally interested in the land. I'm putting it to a vote. As I call your name, signify your pleasure with yes or no. S.B. Gilbert.
Yes?
R.M. Cushing.
Yes.
Steve Dill.
No! And that goes for the rest of the ranchers in Paradise Valley. If you think we're going to...
William Hume will vote the proxies of Marble, Horton, James, and Jones.
Yes.
Well, you... Ryder was right about you. He's always been right. If the rest of us hadn't been fools...
What are you blowing Ryder's horn for? Who do you think came over here and engineered everything? Who do you think put the idea into Center City's head to vote water bonds? I expect he was getting nothing out of it except a chance to hear himself talk.
Let me go. I know when I'm licked. I'm getting out of here.
Well, that brings the meeting to a happy conclusion. Here's the record of the transaction, all signed and sealed.
This has been a very profitable as well as a pleasant afternoon.
Thanks to you, Mr. Hume. Of course, some of your rancher friends didn't quite agree with you, but then, after all, business is business. Mr. Hume?
Huh? Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, the meeting stands adjourned. I have a newspaper to get out. Thank you very kindly for your cooperation, and I'll keep you informed as to how things turn out. Thank you very much.
I'll see you at the hotel a little later, Blake.
Right. Good afternoon.
Bye.
Oh, yes. Mr. Hume? I think that consummates our little deal.
There was still $5,000 coming to me, wasn't there, Mr. Blaine?
Why, certainly it's all there.
Not according to my count. See for yourself. Bill, don't. Mind to keep your trap shut.
You're going to get us both hung.
He ain't gonna die. Nobody's getting rid of me for any $5,000. He ain't gonna tell who robbed him either. There's enough evidence in this book to blow the works sky high. We'll send him to jail for the rest of his life. Ruth, from now on, you and me's living in a clover.
Bill.
Shut up. Ain't I told you don't dare let a peep out of him?
He's not in the office. You'll find him at the stage barn. It's right down the road at the edge of town. Much obliged.
You give me that, little Beaver. You get some feed. Howdy, Steve. What's the matter with you? You gone crazy? Steve, what's this all about? Cool down and tell me.
You dirty crook. Trying to swindle us out of our water rights. I don't suppose you knew there was a stockholders meeting today. You didn't know what Blaine was up to.
Oh, so that's it. Steve, you've got to believe me. I had no way of knowing for sure.
Well, you know now. When I finish with you, I'm going to take care of Mr. Blaine.
Let's let him go, little Beaver. Right now, we'd better saddle our horses again. We've got some visiting to do.
We've been crooked out of our water rights. That city crowd voted them over to themselves.
How could they? We had as many votes as they did.
Sure, but the Humes sided in with them and used the vote you let them have. Red Ryder's mixed up in it, too. He tried to lie out of it, but he didn't fool me.
Boy, that dirty, low-down skunk. We should have known better than to have trusted him.
Don't worry, we'll take care of him. But first, we got to get back to the valley and round up everybody. We'll show those crooks. We'll blow up their dam.
What you think you mean?
Mr. Blaine. Mr. Blaine. This is one time Steve really did lose his head. We better call in the doc and then notify the sheriff.
Likely he came in through the window. Anyhow, there's no sign of a struggle. Whoever did it must have sneaked up on him unawares. He left to get out in a hurry. Must have heard you coming, Ryder.
Possibly, but I didn't see anybody.
How's he doing, Doc? Looks like he'd full out of it. Are you able to hear me, Mr. Blaine? I'll try to think. You remember who you saw last in this room?
Well, where'd they go?
Go ahead. Who are they?
Come on, Blaine. You've got to remember. Try to think. The safe has been robbed. The books are gone. Don't you understand? The books are gone.
Who was in here with you?
Nobody. There was a meeting. Everybody left. I was alone, and
But you just said that...
Likely you were right, Sheriff. Somebody climbed through the window and slipped up behind.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember. I heard someone and turned around, and
But you didn't get a chance to see who it was. Maybe he'll remember better later, but I wouldn't crowd him too much. I'm sure the doc will agree. Come with me, little Beaver.
Where we go, Red?
We're heading for Paradise Valley.
We go catch him, Steve, fetch him back.
Maybe. The only thing I can't savvy is why Blaine would lie to cover up for him. Maybe the Humes can tell us.
Stay think they've got us licked, but we'll show them we can still fight. They may have ruined us, but they're not going to profit by it. Ryder or any of the others.
You're wrong.
Who'd ever thunk
You
the
just gotta be wrong about Red.
I've got the evidence with my own eyes and ears, honey. Bill Hume as good as admitted him and Ryder were in cahoots with the rest.
You threw that right back where you found it. It's not leaving this door setting to blow our stops. You've just gone complete loco, Steve Dill. It'll be you instead of any dam that gets blowed up when them guards up there get shooting.
We're not asking for any advice. That's our trouble. We've taken too much already.
The Humes is back. The Humes is back. Hey, Steve, the Humes is back. I just saw them sneaking in over the hill. They're at Ruth Humes' place now.
The dam can wait, men. Let's get them two cows first.
This wait's taking too big a chance. We ought to get all the belongings out of the valley before there was any meat. You're crazy. That way folks had suspicion something was up ahead of time. Stop bellyaching and come on.
Oh, Duchess! Have you seen Bill or Ruth Hume?
Now, look here, Red. What kind of truck you been having with
No
them?
truck at all. Now, don't tell me you've been listening to that nonsense, too.
No, Red, but I'm about the only one left that hasn't.
Well, that's fine, because my only interest in the Humes is to lay my hands on them. I have an idea that I can get them to blab enough information that'll put a bunch of crooks in jail and maybe get the river water back for the folks up here.
Gosh, Red, I should have known you. Red, you're going to be too late. You got to hurry if you want to grab them Humes while they're still able to blab.
She's right, Red. A lot of dumb fools are headed for Ruth Hume's place. They're going to hang their skins up to dry.
When'd they leave?
Well, they should be there before now.
Take care of yourself, Red. Everybody's awful mad at you. They're liable to shoot before they take time to listen.
They might be watching this way, so we'll circle and come in from behind. Bill, listen.
I don't hear nothing. All's the matter with you is you're jumpy.
No, I'm not. Listen. I hear horses.
Take this. Get behind the wagon. Busy, Roof. Use that gun.
Not gonna get us, Bill. I'm gonna give myself up.
Shut up. Get a hold of yourself.
You can't kill a defenseless man. Roof, it's plain you want. I'll tell you everything.
Stay out of sight, little Beaver, while I try to break this up.
Maybe get shoot, Red. Steve Dill try once. Maybe try again.
Yes, I know, but I may be able to draw their fire long enough for Bill Hume to make a break.
trying to join up with the Humes.
Sent me. He's going to put you in jail for what you did to him.
Tell him he's a fool. I got enough evidence in this wagon to send him to the pen so fast. That's all I wanted to know.
There's your man, Steve. Sorry to spoil your little shooting party. But if you look in the back of that wagon, you'll find the evidence that'll get the dam back for you and the other homesteaders. You... We've had a long wait for this day. Maybe that's why that water looks so pretty.
It's a lot sweeter than most of us in this valley deserve, Red. We'd only been smart enough to realize...
Forget it, Steve. I have. All we have to do now is...
Hey, Red! I ran a sample off the press. How does it look?